As you get into this video, keep an open mind and get ready to learn what you may never have known before. It might shake the way you view the modern dating scene and make you question everything you've done up until this point. Keep in mind, whatever happens, at least now you know the truth, and moving forward, you can be aware of what you're truly in. A woman might have had 20 sensual partners before you and still for you and love you the most out of them. While on the other hand, a woman with just a body count of you may never completely submit herself to you, no matter what you do. This may sound shocking, but it happens on a daily basis. What we call this is an alpha widow. What is an alpha widow? Unlike an actual widow, an alpha widow may never have been married, but her sincerest love, her truest submission, have been lost in an old partner. An old partner who had such a strong alpha impact on her that she can't move on from. Every other guy that would come after him will be judged on that standard, and it's a game you're destined to win. Because in her time apart from him, she has further fantasized that perfect ex she lost and now is left stranded trying to, air quotes, replace him with unworthy. Keep in mind that women are pure emotions, barely any rationality. So even if you do everything he did, but better, you may still not be able to take his spot. Now that alpha male, you have to understand, isn't a one-size-fits-all. He could have had just one alpha trait that really stuck out to our alpha widow. It could have been his masculine structure, his strong voice, his general aura, his beard, anything. Truth is, every guy has one alpha trait that exceeds those of who are around him. Every guy has something. So, our alpha male demonstrates certain qualities to her that makes her question if she has peaked in terms of finding the perfect partner. This is called the hypergamous doubt. If you don't believe me, go watch the music video for The One Who Got Away by Katy Perry. Pay close attention to the lyrics and the visuals. That is the prime example of an alpha widow. The guy Katy Perry talks about was her high school sweetheart. Do you see how years later, I repeat, many, many years later, Katy Perry wrote a song about him and how deeply she still thinks about him. She can have all guys in the world after him, but in her mind, he will always hold the main spot. He was the one who made her an alpha widow. You see the same thing in the end of Titanic. Now I know that it's just a fictional work, a romance, but the reason it resonated with so many women is because they could relate with it on a deeper level. Years later, when Rose had a happy life around her, you still notice that hollowness in her soul. In her mind, she still thinks every day about Jack and the love they had. That's why I said earlier, it doesn't really matter what her body count is. Obviously, a higher body count increases the chances of her coming across at least one guy who took that spot, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's why you should give any woman a chance. Observe if she behaves like an alpha widow. A girl with a body count of 2 may already have become an alpha widow. So while you thought you had a good shot of keeping her, your fate's already been written. Whereas, a girl with a high body count may come across you and develop a connection with you that you turn her into an alpha widow if you leave. There's no age to fulfilling the hypergamous doubt in women. A lot of guys wonder how they can win over an alpha widow. How do I become an alpha for the alpha widow? The first step is to first truly and profoundly question your own desires. Is she really the one for you over all else? Do you want to go over so much effort which has a high possibility of going in vain? Can you take that big of a risk with your time? Most guys, when faced with these questions, they would move on to the next one, and rightfully so. I would advise you all to do the same too personally. It's crucial that you have an abundance mindset about life. That if you can't have one, there's 1,000 others out there for you. And frankly so, considering how huge the world is, it's true. You're bound to come across who hasn't been so emotionally scared or emotionally locked, whatever you want to call it, will give you her 100%. That's the first and recommended step to do, and I'll tell you why later. Now, the second step is attempting to win her over. Sometimes, there's just something about one girl that you don't think you can find in anybody else. You just wish to be with that one person, no matter how invested she is in her past. You think you can win over her love and live happily ever after. And I must say, you aren't completely foolish to true. Though it's incredibly hard and time-consuming, it's possible with a very slight success rate. What you'll have to do is get to know exactly who the alpha from her past was. What qualities he held, his demeanor, just get to know him a little. And believe it or not, you're going to have to fill his shoes. Like I said before, every woman has their own peak, their own wishes, their own wants. So if your new girl loved particular qualities about her ex, it just means you need to give her the same feeling too. The reason I wouldn't recommend you lot to go about this way is, think about it. As a man, can you be content with being a beta? Okay, so men are just into the stuff, not talking about them. But as a true masculine man, can you ever tolerate being the beta, being second under another man? Absolutely not. It's in our system to desire the top spot, to be the boss. The risk you run with trying to win over an alpha widow is that you might never be successful. You may be loving, supporting, giving a glamour life to a girl whose heart belongs to another dude. This is a bitter pill to swallow for any man. You want your woman to love you and only you. An alpha widow can't ever give you that. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like and comment your thoughts on the matter. Make sure you subscribe, as we have a lot more videos coming out which will elevate your status in life. With that said, see you all soon.